Hi, Tony from Tony's E-Cig Stuff, and today we're going to be having an overview of the Coil Master 521 tab. Okay, let's go down and have a look at it close up. Okay, here we have it, the Coil Master. Let's unbox it and see what's in the kit. Right, okay. Little giveaway thing there, what that's all about. And instructions by the looks of it. Let's open these up. Front there. Bit more detail of how it works. You can see that. Introduction, specification, notes, diagram, where the battery goes, switches, etc. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. Let's move that out the way. Box over there. Let's see what else we've got in here. Okay, let's have a little unboxing of this. Right, some little leads here. Get this open. Should have opened this first, really. There you go. Door open. And let's see what we've got. Right, okay. Okay, testing leads. We'll come back to them in a minute. A USB power lead by looks. We'll come back to that in a minute as well. And what's this? A voltage checker. We'll come back to that as well in a bit. Now this comes without an 18650 battery in it, but I've put one in for the purpose of demonstration. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got. Here's the rocker switch. As you can see, number 1 is to check your ohms. Look at that way, you check your ohms. Nothing displaying there at the moment because I haven't got anything on it. Middle is off, as you can see. And number 2 is to burn. Now this is slightly different from ones I've seen before. On some of them you have like a little pipe here, and when you press the fire button, like sort of vapour comes out of it. This one is a new model, I think. I've only had this less than a week, and we're now at December the 27th. So this seems to show the strength of the battery that's in there and what voltage it pumps out. Unlike the old ones which used to have like an icon of a vaping device. So that seems to be a bit of an improvement. Put it back to the off position. Now, as I said here, it's 18650 battery. So the lid comes off, it's quite good. It's all magnetic. Nice and sturdy, as you can see, and you just pull that out, and there you have your battery that you put in there. As I say, it's an 18650 3.7 lithium battery that fits in there. So let's put that back in. I see this lid, magnetic, it's quite good as well, nice and sturdy. Bit more information on the bottom there regarding the Coil Master, as you can see. 4 rubber feet, which makes it quite sturdy, stops it sliding around when you're using it. Coil Master logo on the side. Here is a USB lead port, where you plug that in and then into your laptop or your wall charger. And what that's for is that's to recharge the battery that's in there. It's not a power supply as such for firing, it's for recharging the battery. So that goes in there. Now let's get back to the other things that I mentioned a moment ago. Like these things here. These fit into these slots. You just push them in. Like so. And basically what these are for, these have got little crocodile clips on the end. You can see them. See there? Crocodile clips. And what you can do, you can put a piece of camphor in between these. And you press the button and it'll tell you what is the camphor reading, like as if it was a coil. In fact, you could do it with a coil if you wanted, just put it either side on the legs and you get the reading of the coil, what ohms. But as I say, it's mainly for like a length of camphor. Just click it and it gives you the reading of what the camphor is, what ohm the camphor, the length that you've cut. So that's quite a handy little thing. I don't think it's something I'd really use, but some people out there probably would. Now this device here, voltage checker, once again, let's take this out, the same holes. This is pretty impossible to use wrong. That covers that fire button. So you put that in there, and what you would do, if you've got a mechanical mod, you'd screw it into here, and basically when you fire the mechanical mod with its own button, it'll give you a reading of what the voltage it's pumping out. Now just be aware that if you've got a coil in here when you're testing your mechanical mod, do not put your hand over there because you'll burn it, because when you're testing the mechanical mod, the coil that's in here will start to glow. So bear that in mind. Handy little device, not something I'm sure I'd use. So okay, power it back on. And as I said to you, the risk of repeating myself, the older ones seem to have like a mechanical pipe with like sort of vapour coming out. This has the reading of the current power level of the battery you've got in there and what power it discharges when you're doing a vape. So, rightio, I'm going to come back to that in a moment. I'm going to put a bit of a deck on here so you get a better idea how it works. So, I'll be back in a moment, just bear with me. Okay, I've returned and I've got a build deck with me. And this one is my Mad Hatter. People who've seen my videos will know this is one of my favourite devices. So it's full of juice at the moment. Let me just give it a wipe. I don't want to make a mess. And we'll demonstrate how this works. So we're going to put it into number 1, which is to read the ohms. So number 1, and there's the reading there, 0.28. Fantastic. Okay, now put it to number 2 and we'll be able to fire this. So we'll press the fire button. It's currently showing the power that's in the battery, then it'll show you the power that's getting discharged from the battery to fire this up, and you'll notice vapour coming from it. As you can see, fantastic. One more go, press the fire button. See this light has illuminated the fire. Press the fire button. And there you have it. Now I dare say you could use that for vaping. Wouldn't really recommend it though, to be honest with you, but technically you could. You just remove that once you're happy with your build. Because as I say, before I remove that, it does work as a brilliant build deck, but when you're using it in build deck mode, always switch it off when you're assembling your coil so you can't accidentally fire it. When you're happy with your coils, then you can go to number 1 and get a reading of the build of the coil that you've put in, how many ohms. And you can go back to position number 2 and burn the coils. And make sure that they both light up the way they should do. If there's any discrepancies, you can tweak the coil. When it's switched off, you can tweak the coil, make it tighter either side, and then see if it burns more evenly. Put it back on into button number 2 again and fire it. So all in all, I think this is an excellent device. It's going to be invaluable if you like to build your own coils. That's a build deck. Look at that, it's beautiful. Let me just switch that off. So I always switch it off when you're not actually intended to do anything with it, because you don't want to come a cropper and burn yourself. So yeah, as a build deck, I think it's fantastic that. You know, instead of trying to have to balance that on top of a battery, just move that out the way a moment. That would sit nicely like that, and you can build away when you're happy with it. As I say, press number 1, get your reading 0.26 ohm. I'm happy with that. Switch it off. As I say, put it to number 2 and test it. Working like a cracker, that. So superb. Switch it back off always when you're finished. Switch it off. So there you have it, the Coil Master 521 tab. I'm pretty impressed with it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is I'll just remove this coil. It also, let me just wipe that bit of juice off there. Switched off before I do this, as always. It has a floating 510 pin. Let's just check that. Yeah, a floating 510 pin. Superb. So all in all, I can't fault this. I think it's a belter. Yeah, the 521 Coil Master. Now underneath, I forgot to mention, when you take the battery off, the magnets that keep it in place. There's two little posts here that also secure to stop it from sliding off, as you can see, making it even more secure. And getting back to the rocker switch on the side, it actually says in detail there, middle is off. Number 1 is to test your ohms. As you can see, there's nothing showing at the moment because there's nothing on top of it. Number 2 is for burning it. As I say, it displays what the current power is in the battery that's in there at the moment and what the power that it discharges. That's a new feature. I'm repeating myself, but I think it's a cracking little feature. Okay, so let's go back up and conclude what we think about the Coil Master 521 tab. Alright, we're back up top again, and as I say, the Coil Master 521 tab, as we've just been having a quick look at. Would I recommend it? Yes, I certainly would. If you're into building your own coils, this is the fella for you. Spot on, easy to use, and as you've seen when we had the look down below, there's all the things you need to do. Check your coils, you can burn your coils, and it's a great little building deck as well. So hopefully this has been helpful and informative, and if it is, leave your comments down below and don't forget to subscribe. I'll have a toot anyway. So don't forget, as I say, come and join me, subscribe, you're more than welcome, you know that. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous until next time, so I'll see you again soon.